What's going on, guys? Welcome to Gump's Videos, and today we got a topic that we're going to talk about for the longest time. So I'm going to try to keep this short because the last time I recorded this, I ended up going on a 15-minute tangent, so we're not going to do that. So the whole topic is going to be Ultimate Editions, extended cuts, director's cuts. Now, I understand, at least the way I perceive them, director's cuts were supposed to be a version of the movie, but like the script is untouched. So when a movie's being made, they're in the editing room, right? They filmed everything in the script and some. That's how it usually works. There's things that are taken out of the script. Okay, that part, the pacing doesn't feel right, so they take it out. Because there's certain things that work on paper, but when you see it on the visual medium, it just doesn't work. So you just got to cut it out. That's part of the process. Now, the director's cut, again, from what I perceived it, is they take that entire uncut thing and just put it into one, and they just here's the extended cut. If it be like an extra 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we don't know. Now, I bring this up because as of recently, people have been using this as an excuse to pardon the original film. So back then, I'll say back then, when the movie was released, that is commonly known as the movie. And then the extended version, director's cut, is something different. Because guess what? It's just a couple extra scenes that may or may not enhance the story. You might be like, oh, yeah, I can see why they had to cut that. But as of recently, again, people are using the extended or ultimate editions to pardon these said original cuts. Biggest example is BVS. So I got a lot of flack, crapping on this movie. Not with, on the online community, because most of the online community agreed with me. But I'm talking about with some of my friends, because some of my friends were hardcore DC fanboys. Fuck Marvel, DC's everything. When I was crapping on that movie, everyone's like, did you see the Ultimate Edition? It explains a lot of the problems. I'm like, you don't understand. If you're cutting something out that affects the plot of the movie, that's an editing error. That's an editing error, or that's just because you decided to write 3.5 hours of crap, which I'll get into later. So that's an editing error or a screenwriting error, and if that's the case, that means it's the movie's fault, therefore it's a bad decision, bad movie. That tangent aside, people are getting way too comfortable with these excuses. Now, I bring this up. The reason why I'm even talking about this is because I'm listening to some people talk about Disney Star Wars and stuff like that, and someone was deciding, okay, I'm going to tell you guys why I didn't like the Rise of Skywalker. And this is a guy I've been watching for a long time now, so this is not me just looking up reasons to hate something. This is not that. So I was just genuinely interested in his opinion. I'm going through the comments, and then someone in the comments says, hopefully they release an extended edition of the entire trilogy so they can explain some of these plot holes. Remember when you can just judge a movie based off of what you saw in theaters, but now people are going to use Ultimate Editions, extended cuts, to counteract said arguments. And the craziest example of this, which is really absurd, it's not even an extended version of the movie. It's a whole different movie. Again, with Star Wars. Star Wars Episode 4. Why the hell is that freaking pipe so small? Why they leave such a freaking obvious exposed spot? And then they made Rogue One to explain the freaking plot hole. It's literally the biggest, most expensive plot hole fixer I've ever seen. So, yeah, now it's to me it's weird, and it's making things a lot more complicated, especially as someone who likes to just judge film and just look at film as an art. Because now you're telling me that I have to judge this, I have to judge that. That's not how it works. I'm going to judge the movie I saw in theaters. I'm not going to pay an extra $15, $20 to see something I did not like. Because I thought some parts of BVS were freaking awesome, but I thought overall the movie was absolute dog shit. But you're telling me, but I can't have an opinion on the movie until I spend another $25 to buy the DVD? the extended Ultimate Edition. Nah, that's not how this works. That's not how this works, and nor should it ever be how it works. Now, quickly to wrap up this video, my next thing I had to talk about is the extent of how long these movies are being made. Certain directors, even though some of them are really good, like Martin Scorsese, and some not so great, are just making films way too long. Now, there's reports that the Justice League Snyder Cut edition is going to be 4 hours long. Now, me as a wannabe writer, I say that a wannabe writer, I was always taught that the extent of a film should be as long as the human bladder. And me, when I watch something, I like to drink something and stay hydrated, because that's what I like to do. Everyone's got their shtick when they're watching something. Me, I compulsively like to drink something. So, I'm going to have to pee after a while. And depending on said movie, if the pacing's proper, I won't notice it until the movie's over. But there's only so much of that like the absorption and the focus on the screen that's going to take. Like, if the movie's 4 hours long and I've been sipping on my soda for 2 hours and now it's completely gone, I drank all the ice and stuff like that, I'm going to have to pee and my focus is going to snap out of it. So, there's that. And some people might point out, as always, because Marvel vs. DC, Endgame. Even though I did not like Endgame, I give Endgame props for making a 3-hour movie feel like it was a 2.5 hour movie to 2 hours. That, like, it did not feel like a 3-hour movie, because again, it kind of needed it, because it was the end all be all things of Marvel. Justice League is the first movie. Now, some people might say, oh, Aquaman, oh, Flash, I gotta set these characters up. Maybe you should have thought about just, I don't know, making their own movies if it was that much of a problem. Or you can just set them up by clever interactions with other characters. I don't know. That's just me, old-fashioned. But long story short, I think 4 hours, 2.5, like, I think 1 to 3 hours, 1 to 3, 1.5 to 3 hours is a perfect runtime. 3's kind of pushing it. But Martin Scorsese usually has this down. He's usually got it pretty good. But there's certain directors and writers who like to write garbage and crap and just style, but not a lot of substance in there. So, I don't know. I don't like it when people are like, oh, dude, it's 4 hours, it's going to be awesome. I could write a 6-hour script right now, and it could be the worst piece of shit ever. It doesn't matter on how many pages there are. In fact, the way I see it, the longer something is, the more likely there's going to be something wrong with it. That's the way I see it. Even though there's certain movies that are called for 2.5 hours. Some movies that are called for 90 minutes. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I want to hear your thoughts down below, guys. I have a Twitter, Gumps_videos. You can follow me there for the latest news updates on my channel, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. Again, share them with me. Am I old-fashioned, or do you guys kind of agree with me, or at least see where I'm coming from? Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace.